Hey, it's Keith again. So I just wanted to do a little bonus, I guess, video to wrap up something, one of the ideas at the end of the previous dispensational refuted video. We were looking at that metaphor that Paul uses in Galatians, where he talks about the free woman and the slave woman, and he says the old covenant is compared to the Hagar and the slave woman in Mount Sinai, and the children of those who are slaves and things like that. And then those who are under the new covenant are those who are of the mother who is free. That means they are the children who are free. They are not of the physical Jerusalem, the physical temple, earthly Jerusalem, but they are from a heavenly Jerusalem, from above. And so this is just a little thing, but I thought it was really interesting. So you realize in that metaphor, in that scenario, both sets of children, whether from Hagar or from Sarah, in that metaphor, could rightfully say that they were children of Abraham. And I think that's really what Paul is getting at. He's saying, look, Jewish people are saying we're children of Abraham, therefore we're children of the promise. Because Paul in Galatians makes the point that no, those who are really, truly children of the promise are those who are in Christ, who are of the seed, singular. That's the promise. The promise was made to the seed, which was to Christ. And if you're in Christ, then you're the child of the promise. He says, you're children of Abraham and heirs according to the promise. So what he's saying is that those who put their hope in their Jewishness or who reject Christ, however you want to look at it, that those Jewish people can say, hey, I'm a child of Abraham. And he would say, well, yeah, you are, technically, you're a child of Abraham. But you're not a child of the promise. Meaning those promises aren't to you if all you are is circumcised of the flesh. Again, his whole point that he makes about, not all those who are Israel are of Israel, as he talks about in Romans, as we've already seen. So I think that's kind of what he's getting at. Now, I get that's very, very insulting to people who really are physically descended, Jewish people, ethnically Jewish people. But again, keep in mind that Paul was too. And Paul's whole point was, not only was that his story, he was a Pharisee of Pharisees, but he counted all of that as excrement compared to knowing Christ, who was the true offspring, the real seed of Abraham, the one to whom all those promises were made and fulfilled in him. And therefore, it's only being in Christ or not in Christ that matters. As he says, circumcision counts for nothing. What matters is if you're in Christ or not. And so, again, if that does come across insulting, keep in mind that Paul first insults himself. He includes himself in those group of people for whom the insult would apply. Hang on a minute. That's my train. But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting distinction to make, and something to explore going forward in the video series. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk some more soon. Bye-bye.